good night. Thanks for having me once again. It's been a while that I don't come on Mondays, normally on Tuesdays. And not as my friend David, you have to stay with my not as beautiful voice. So, that's okay. But the thing is, just continuing a little bit what David was saying, what do we need in order to reach this tranquil place after our burdens, after navigate through life, through all the tasks, through all the necessities and whatever comes? What do we need? Help me with that. What do we need?
Faith.
We need faith. We need to hear God, right? We need to connect with Jesus' examples. But the thing is, when Jesus was here, and he was very, very, very good. I've been studying neuroscience for at least 6 years so far, and our brain's amazing, as everybody knows. And we tend to stick to images more than words and more than numbers. And Jesus was a master, because all he gave us was parables. All he gave us was images, but images that work for the people of 2,000 years ago. So the images are very strong. When he say you're going to suffer, you're going to bleed, it's like, oh my God, no, I don't want to go there. I'm okay the way I am. I don't want to bleed, I don't want to suffer, I don't want to. We have to understand and translate to the 21st century all this information in order to keep in touch with Jesus, all the lectures that he gave. In order to do that, what do we really need to do? If we need to understand what Jesus said, and he was the better example that ever walked on earth, what do we need to do in order to understand somebody that with that intelligence, with that pure intentions, so far and so on? What do we need to do? Any clue? We need to understand ourselves first. Because if we don't understand ourselves, the way that we act, the way that we react, the way that we understand things, how can we connect to a superior intelligence? How can we grasp whatever he was saying to us? So this lecture that maybe my friend Carlos will have the power to put it there, but if it doesn't, it doesn't matter, because this is an invitation to understand a little bit about ourselves through some gifts that God gives to us. Because the name of the speech is Give Freely What You Freely Received. And when you think about this, it's not about, oh, I got a car, so I'm going to give the car for free to somebody else. We're not Chico Xavier yet. Only him had this kind of we had a speaker at our center, and he said something that really impacted me. He said that Chico Xavier was a discarnated, incarnated soul. It's like, really? How come? Because he didn't care about material things whatsoever. There was a group from São Paulo, which is a big capital in Brazil, that brought him like 7, 8 suits, because he always dressed with the same kind of dressing. And it's like, oh, Chico, you are important. Everywhere you go, you are wearing the same clothes. I don't need another one. And then all of a sudden, from the 7 that he received, he gave 5 away. And the guy's like, why you did that? I just need 2. Why, Chico? You need 7. That's 7 days a week. No. When one is washing, I'm wearing the second one. So when the second one is dirty, I use the one that I washed. And so far and so on. Why do I need 7? We're not like this. I wish, but we're not like this. So this is the first thing that we have to assume. How we are. And by assuming the way we are, it's easy to understand. We are curious souls. Sometimes we are kind of greedy. Sometimes if you want to see your not as good side, if you do have child, look at your child and pay attention when he really annoys you. And there's no reason for that. When you're really upset, it's just because he's mimicking the side that you really don't like. So that is you mimicking by him. And you are really, really, really upset and don't know why. It's just because you don't want to see the problems that are inside of you. You see in your child and say, oh, there's something wrong with that. I didn't teach you like this. No, yes, you did. Because we teach by example. We don't teach that much by words as we teach by example. They will follow us. So yes, fathers, mothers, parents, pay attention to that. But this is not the subject of our speech. I'm just saying that because by being curious, we normally, when we talk about in the beginning, I'm going to see somebody that's had some mediumnic power that can tell me something about my soul. So immediately, what we do, what we want to know, am I going to get married? Am I going to get a promotion? Am I going to live forever? Everything that we want to know, it's about material-related things. It's not about our soul. It's not about, tell me something. And I hope that for every one of us, that we have money enough to live comfortably until we discarnate. But are you going to take your Jaguar? Are you going to take your Audi? Are you going to take your Buick to the grave? Are you going to bury it with you? And then it will discarnate as you, and you're going to drive in the afterworld a nice big car? No. The same with your clothing. The same with your money. We see on the spirits novels, spirits really sad because they left a lot of money for their child, and they seen the child fight against each other to see who's going to receive the better part. And that's not why he saved his whole life. He saved to provide for them, not to make them fight among themselves. So I think we have a kind of a twisted interpretation of facts. We have to stop being what Dr. Alido Cerqueira used to call human havings and be human beings. We don't need to have to be. We just need to be. But we want to have a lot. So the invitation is to know, is to understand a little better mediumship. Is to understand a little better what happened in these centers, in Spiritism. What do we do around here when we study? And why we don't charge? Because it sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? How can we have power? How can we have water, computers that sometimes doesn't work, but most of the time they do? Why do we have people like Carlos, like David, like Simone that, are here all the time, giving their time for free? For free? Is there anything free in life? Oh, yeah. Starting with the will, free will. And that's why we messed up so much. Because if we did probably have some rules in life, like, okay, you're going to complete 18 years old. You have the path to the right, the path to the left, and the path straight. Don't choose any of those. Turn around and go back. We don't have that, right? We don't have this manual to go whatever is the certainty is there. And that's something that we have to deal our whole life. We don't have certainty about what's going to happen when you choose this or that. But we have examples. And when we decide to start studying Spiritism and to start working in the Spiritist Center, especially when you have some kind of gift, because those are gifts from God. If you are a past healer, if you are a medium, if you know really how to pray, you have to be aware that this is not your gift. He was not born like this. And all of a sudden, what comes to you free can go the same way. So it's really, really inconceivable to sell those. How can you sell something that doesn't belong to you? How can you charge somebody that comes to talk to you and it's not you that's giving the answer? And how come can you be so assured that this spirit is good? Because he's coming in the time that you call, all the time, and for the only reason are you making a profit to live? There's something wrong. So let's analyze a little bit. I had a video here, and everybody here saw Ghost, right? Yeah. Do you guys remember the part that Whoopi was receiving that spirit, and the Spanish lady was in front of her, and she was like, okay, I'm seeing somebody in your life. It's a lady. Is she Anita? The lady, and the lady nod. What's that?
You want to show the video from the computer?
No, that's okay. No problem. Is that Conchita? No. Is that Elena? No. Is that Maria? And the lady said, yeah, Maria. Oh, yeah, Maria. So she was just throwing stuff to see if it fits. And because we are so willing to have one word that matches to our needs, that anything will make us happy. But really, tell me something. Have you ever had that kind of curiosity? I don't want you to raise hands, but just think about it. Have you ever been to a lady that throws cards, read your hand, has a crystal ball that's nothing but a crystal ball? Maybe she put some smoke inside to impress, but that's about it. Because we are curious, and our curiosity sometimes leads us to mistakes. Why do you want to know what's going to happen tomorrow? You're not happy with now? Change it now. You're going to wait until tomorrow happens to change it? You lost a day, or 2, or 3, or 10, or maybe a whole incarnation. We really don't think about it, but we want to know what's going to be, what's going to happen. Am I going to get married? Am I going to get raised? Am I going to get this and that and that? Why? If everything that we can do by ourselves, and then we can count in a little bit of luck. There is a Spanish author, André Rovira. He wrote a beautiful book called about the good luck. That is in Spanish, in Portuguese, in English. The PDF is free on the internet to download. And it tells that if you plant, if you deal with the terrain for your good luck to grow, then you have a big chance to have luck. But if you just wait to have luck, it's just like the pastor that the whole city was about to get flooded. Fireman just knocked on his door. Sir, let's go. The city is going to be washed up. No, my God is strong, is higher than that, is stronger than that. My church is going to stay. Nothing's going to put it down. Water start getting to the city, first level. He jumped on the second level. Firefighters came with a big truck. Sir, let's go. It's really time. You're gonna die. No, I believe in God. God's gonna save me. Third floor. They came with a boat. Sir, please. You need to go. You're gonna die. No, my God is powerful. I believe in God is gonna save me. He got to the Bell Church. They came with a helicopter. Let's go. Last chance. No, my God is going to save me. What happened to this pastor? Can somebody tell me?
Died.
Yeah, he discarnated. Well, he got to heaven or whatever it is, and he got to God and asked, "But God, I had so much faith in you. Why didn't you save me?" What God replied? "I tried 4 times. You say no. You said no. You said no. You said no." We say no all the time. We don't believe in ourselves. We just believe in something that will gonna save us, not ourselves. We don't have the power to save ourselves. We the only ones that do have the power to save ourselves. How? By knowing us a little better. By know how we act, how we react. By know that is a divine sparkle inside of us. And if we let that shine, nothing can stop us. Oh yes, we are not this great, beautiful angels that our mom and dad used to tell us when we were babies. When we were babies, yeah, you look beautiful, pretty, and everything. And then our moms and dads' brains, that we're still their babies. But we are born in a land, we are born in a world that is about proofs, about being tested. Why? Because we probably had the same test and we failed. And if we fail again, what's going to happen? We're going to be tested again. In the same way? No, in a different way. The same test, different way to present. So, isn't it time for us to understand that stop playing with guessing games and try to know who we are, what we're doing, and where we want to go. Are we going to get there? We don't know. But at least we have a goal. At least we have a direction. So when you guys come to a center, a Spiritist center, after the talk, what happened? You have a prayer, have some vibrations that you give a little bit of what you receive, and then what happened? Where are you going? You're going to have your passes. So the first gift that God gives to who's really into Spiritism, is the gift of healing. And this is so important for the healer, for the pass giver, to know that he is dealing with somebody else's life. All the pass givers here, please correct me if I'm wrong. We don't drink. Maybe we drink once in a week or twice in a week, if that's so, and it's days that we are really apart from any work. But normally, we don't drink whatsoever. We are very focused when we give the passes. Even if the whole room is crazy, there is one great, I think it's the biggest guy that study passes in Brazil. His name is Jacob Mello. And he lives in Bahia. And Bahia is a particular state, really peculiar. People are expensive, they talk loud, they have their own way to talk and to interact. So he was talking about, they have cabins to give passes. And there's this old lady that every time she's going to get a pass, she starts singing out loud some religious songs. And then somebody from the other cabin starts screaming, "Shut up!" And the passista has to do his job. Even though this craziness is walking around. You have to focus. It's not easy. It's not easy. But it's a work, it's a labor of love. And if you focus in, I'm here to give my best, that's all it matters. So don't believe in people that are going to charge you for that. Does it make sense? If I'm going to charge you to heal you with my power, which is not mine, there's something wrong. Because if something distract my attention, yeah, I'm not 100% concentrated anymore. And who can guarantee that the spirit that is helping me, it's a good spirit? What kind of spirit comes for money? What kind of spirit comes for earthy things. The ones that are related to planet Earth. Are the high spirits related or attached to planet Earth? Not really. They do a lot of other things. They are here to help, but just to help. They don't need to drink. They don't need to have this earthy urgence that we have. Most of the spirits that are around the globe, they do have that. And they're the first ones to come. If you don't have a spirit center to protect you, if you don't have the focus in doing good, and that's it, and that's just that. So when we talk about healing, especially healing, if you're not prepared, and I know that many centers, especially the ones in the U.S., are very strict to that because that is a huge consequences. And I'm talking about consequences from the material side, from the human side, if something wrong happens. So everybody is so attached to what they do and do for love. That's the first flag. If somebody's charging me, what am I doing here? There's so many centers that don't charge anything. But what do we charge? And I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little bit off your camera for a second, but they're all just going to stay here. What the Spirit Center charge? For real. Think about it. What do we want here? For real. We want that you help us to heal yourself. Because if you don't want to be healed, if you don't want to get better, if you don't want to change your perspective, your focus, your way of living, everything was going to come back to you. I'm sorry, it's not good news. That's physics. That is physics. That is not possible on planet Earth to plant pineapples and get bananas out of that. And I hope you have a good knife, because pineapples hurt a little bit if you try to eat it raw without anything to peel it. And that's what we do. And that's what we do. We don't want to change, but we want to have a different outcome. How you want to have a different outcome if you don't change what originates the outcome? It's really hard. So every single spirit speech, it's about put your hand in your conscience and see how can you change just a little. Here's my daily mantra. Every time I wake up, I say, today I'm going to be a little better than yesterday. Just a little. And tomorrow, when I wake up, that triggers in my mind, it says again, today I'm going to be a little better than yesterday. And if I stay focused and truth to that, my day is amazing. It is amazing. So when we think that we don't have power to control our lives, step back, take a deep breath, and say, today, I'm going to be a little better than yesterday. So I'm going to at least try to take control of my life. I'm not going to give that to somebody that charged me for heal me, that charged me to write some prayer for myself, or to charge me to read my luck. I don't need that. But of course, we are not alone. Otherwise, we're not going to be gathering in social reunions. The human being needs to be, it's a social creature. We need to exchange information in order to evolve, in order to grow. But from this part to start putting my whole faith in somebody else, there's something wrong. First, you don't believe in yourself. Second, let's talk about prayers, which is the second gift. We know, we learn in Spiritism centers that we have some tools that we can better ourselves, that we can try to fight whatever spiritual effects we're feeling, or something that we think that we are doomed to. Or so one of the first ones that we learn here is the passes, right? The healing passes. The second one is the magnetic water, that we put some fluids that you can drink, and is your daily pass. You take back home, you take it every day, it's your daily pass. But that's one that comes way before we ever knew a Spiritist center, which is the prayer. But prayer, my friends, don't get me wrong, but it's not, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. This is just words, if you say it like this. If you don't put meaning, please change that to, God, I'm here, I'm suffering. Please hear me. I think I can stand it. Help me to stand and keep going. 100% better than something that you learn and memorize when you were a kid. But if you're going to do a prayer that you learn, put meaning. Put feelings on it. And that's the kind of prayer that will help you, that will put you up, that will lift you up. You know what? Since the scribes from Old Jerusalem, the Hebrews and the doctors of law, they were the most intelligent ones. So they charged to write some prayers. And if I do have a little bit of money, just to show off to my friends at home, I'm going to buy, I'm going to memorize, and I'm going to say in front of everybody. Huh? Okay, and what is yours? You think that this kind of prayer will do what you think that it will do? It will connect you to God? It won't. Those are just words that you pay a little amount of money. So that means that if I have 6 pages of prayer, this prayer will go to God instantly, right? Because I pay $600, $100 a page. But if I do have half a page, which is $50, it will stay in line. It will download later to God, right? It's going to stay, in a big, long line. That's not that. That doesn't happen like this. But we have this past, because we know that we incarnate through the centuries. We have this past of knowing or being comfortable in giving the power to somebody else to do what we need to do. So we used to, in the ancient times, buy prayers from this wise man. As we pay for people to, how many times in your life you call somebody and say, pray for me? Oh, I'm going to go for this interview. Please pray for me. Oh, Peter, this is nothing. No, it's nothing, but this is a habit. And if we don't understand this habit, I want you all to pray for me every day if you can. By the way, my name is Peter. So if you're going to direct Peter Roman, the guy that... But I don't want you to pray for me and then I'm relieved to pray. That's the trick. Because most of the time, it's not implicit in our thoughts, but it's embedded deeply inside. That when you say, pray for me, okay, I don't need to pray now because somebody's praying for me. It's just like to have a pastor or somebody at the church that is going to do their job. And please don't get me wrong. I was Catholic until I don't know when, because this is how we are down in Brazil. And I went to church every Sunday, and you know the drill. You know the routine. I cannot understand, or I cannot sympathize with You go to the priest, a little window, and you're going to confess yourself. Forgive me because of sin. Blah, 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 blah. And you can imagine the guy inside said, oh my God. And no, I can't believe he did that. Okay, so you're going to do this. You're going to pray this much of a Holy Father. You're going to pray. And then you go, you pray, and you're free. You start committing everything that you did last week again. Does it make sense? What did you learn from your mistakes if you're going to do it again? So, for the centuries, over and over, we learn this habit of somebody will save me, somebody will say that I'm okay, and if he say that I'm okay, I'm okay. Deep inside, we know that we're not okay. But we just convince our brain, our material part of the brain, that we are okay. So that's why we pay, quote unquote, for our prayers. When it's something that there's no way to give to anybody else to be your, to pray for yourself. Your mom can pray for herself. Everybody can pray for yourself. But if you don't do it, I'm sorry. Let's put it in more efficient or more material side. I think everybody knows here what these days what coaching does, right? If you have a coach, or if you're a coachee, you have a coach, he's going to take you to a state of leverage that is so painful to stay there that you have to change, because that's how our brain acts. You have to feel a lot of pain to say, I don't want it anymore, so let me shift. And then he presents you the good scenario that you're going to shift to. But you can be Tony Robbins, the Pope of coaching. $1 million to be in front of you. You can pay cash. If you don't want to change, not even him will change you. Because you need to want it yourself. And that's the trick. And the only way for us to understand that we need to change is to understand that we have some not as good sides inside of us. Understand, respect, and start changing one at a time. Not everything at the same time, otherwise we're not going to do it. So when we relate to people to heal me spiritually, I'm not talking about doctors. Doctors had to charge because they study for that. They give their sweat and tears for that. But mediums, past givers, they study a lot. Sometimes they give, most of the time they give sweat, especially when it's hot, right? We get out of the past chambers and we are like really sweaty and stuff. But it's different because what we give is not ours. What we give belongs to the high spirits. So we cannot charge for that. There's no way for us to charge for that. And if you pay somebody to give you that and you think that it's going to be the best thing ever, I'm sorry, I have bad news for you. It can be the worst thing ever. It really depends on the spirit that is assisting that medium that is dealing with money to help people. It's totally wrong. The energy is not there. The good energy, the positive energy is not there. Oh, Peter, but I have some friends that really got healed. Good. They had some merit. That doesn't mean that the process is not right. So it's one thing for us to understand. And understanding this, we understand ourselves. When Whoopi started receiving the fake spirit and the real spirit was on his side, that proves that even though she can be a crook, but if she starts dealing with spirits, she's going to open a channel. And all of a sudden, one spirit can really, really, really get in and start talking to this person. How can you assure that it's a good spirit? You can't. Most of the time, are spirits that want to have fun with you. I see a man in your future I see a lot of men in your future. You're going to see a lot of men during your life. Your father, your brother, your boss, your teacher. I see a woman. I see your mom. I see your sister. I see these generic things. Why they fulfill us? Because we want to be fulfilled. We want to be fooled. And we pay for that. And they charge us. As a matter of fact, here in Florida, there's a whole city dedicated to that. I'm sorry. It's curious to go there? Maybe. But go with a different vision. Go with a different focus. Don't go to see if you're going to really find the love of your life. The other half of your orange. Like you were born in a half, right? Oh, I want to find the other half of my orange. So you're just a half? No, you're full. If you don't put yourself together, you're never going to be not even an orange. How can you want somebody else that doesn't have your DNA, that doesn't have your history of life, that doesn't have the centuries of learning, be your perfect soul, your match? Let's start understanding this kind of things. Let's start changing this kind of thoughts. We are our perfect match. We are one. And then somebody else come, they can add. But they're not going to fulfill and complete myself. This is awesome. This is beautiful. But this is poetry. This is not real life. No, you are one with yourself. And if you're not, that's your task right there. Go for it. Don't wait for somebody else to wake you up for that. Don't wait for somebody to read your hand and start giving you a lot of generic information. And you're like, wow, but the lady told me that this and this and this is going to happen. Yeah, that can happen or that cannot happen. It will depend on your effort. I'm going to get a promotion. And then just because she said that you're going to get a promotion was the incentive that you were waiting for to work harder. And all of a sudden, you get the promotion because you work harder, not because she said so. But we still relate to her because we still don't believe in ourselves. We still don't believe that we do have this power. My friends, the only thing that we have to believe is that we do have the power of changing everything. Emmanuel said once, you cannot go back and change your past, but you can start now and build a new future. There was a lot more on this talk, but I think that this just encompasses or give you a general vision of what I was trying to say. Is that you and only you have the power to be better, to walk the path of your freedom, to reach the shores that our friend David told us. And one more thing, remember that when you are discouraged, remember the parables of the talent. When the owner left the farm, gave 3 talents to his first employee, second to two talents to the second, and 1 talent to the third, and told them, go and multiply. And the one that received 1, what did he do? He buried, because he was afraid that with one I cannot do anything. With 1 I cannot multiply, and somebody can steal that from me, and when the owner comes back, he's going to be mad on me. And he got mad of him, of course, because he didn't do anything with the talent. Understand talents by whatever you have inside of you. You have a talent that I don't. You have a talent that I don't. You have a talent that I don't. You have a talent that I don't have. And if we don't put it out, the world will never going to see that talent. Never going to see that sparkle. Never going to see that shine. Don't let our impressions, our wrong impressions of the world, to prevent us to let this talent flow. Much love and peace. Thank you.